Okay, here we go. Thursday night. Have we been on every night this week? I think just about every night this week. Oh well, what else am I going to do? All right, where do we leave off other than snoring? That was not very successful last night, but hey, I got something done. I don't remember what the hell it was, but a little bit of something. Okay, yeah, we were probably dry brushing these things. So let's move the Hetzer away, which honestly it looks a lot less crazy colored than it was before I put the wash on it. And it'll end up looking fine, but it's just kind of a unique pattern, late war. Beggars can't be choosers. They got to paint the panzers in whatever colors they got. All right, so that guy's basically done. I just gotta seal him. What were we doing next? We're doing the Stug, right? We paint all the stuff on the Stug other than what needed to be. Let's put the super readers on here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, this thing's pretty much ready to weather, but before we weather that, we got to put some decals on it, as you guys across the pond like to call them. I have one other one, and I think I used the decals that came in the actual model. Little 223 on there, little 223 action. It looks a little bit different because this one's had other weathering things done to it. Let's go to Stug 3G and see if we see something that jumps out at us. Markings. So we're going to put a little cross up here, since this one doesn't have shirts in. See what we got in the numbers category. See what we got in the numbers category. Probably should just go ahead and just do the vehicles that I know I have a specific decal set for, like the two Panthers for Kursk. You know what? I'm going to take my own advice. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Oh, but they have stuff that's falling off them. All right. Let me see what we got here. All right, let's take a look at this. And where are the two Panzer 3s? Now, I've got some Panzer 3s already. Just to compare what kind of... Oh no, that's Flampanzer. Okay, so this has a solid white numbers, and this one has the black ones there. I want them both the same. So let's take a look at. Let me grab the Panzer III book from. I don't need to do all this stuff, but I'd rather look at it now instead of after I've decided what decals I'm going to put on something and go, oh yeah, that's what I should have done that over there. It's a little too late when you start looking at it in that direction. I realized I had 2 books on the Panther. Go to 2 Squadron Signal books on the Panther is what I meant. Numbers are in red. And you know, pretty much anything goes on these. You just have to just see, oh, look what I found. Look what I found. So I have a model of a Panzer IIIL. I have a model of Panzer IIIL, and it came with these decals. It's the one from Revell. It's a beautiful model. And I just cannibalized this 2 from the decals from it, and this is the tank it actually came from. And if you watched that other episode the other day, you'll notice that the 3 kind of has a funky shape, has an unusual shape. There it is. So this is the tank that is represented in there. Interesting. Oh, here's another shot of it as well. Yeah, these books have been around a long time, so they get inspiration. And here's one of the other decal sets that they have for it, which is, I believe this is the 3rd Panzer Grenadier Division. Has almost kind of like a cross of Lorraine type of symbol like that. Has the numbers in black. So, there it is. Where's the full color plates in the middle? Yeah, see, this is black numbers. This is black numbers with a white outline, like this one. And I'm either going to do that or I'm going to do the hollow black numbers. Okay, and here's the red numbers they were talking about here, and I've got red numbers as well. So could do that also. Except they're all up here. So generally what I've done, I haven't done some super detailed research, but it seemed like each battalion had a different scheme. Each tank battalion had a different scheme. So with that said, these actually have a similar paint scheme, so to speak. Yeah, I'm just trying to do something to stay awake because the last couple of nights I've gone to sleep a lot earlier than I wanted to. It's almost like doing that show with Mitch threw me all off. I stayed up a lot later than I normally do. And that just kind of just threw me off for the whole week. The entire week I was off. But these have other weathering on them that those other tanks don't. And I do like these narrow numbers for the Panzers. I don't really care for them that much for the Stug. That has 223 on it. Let's see. Here's some decals from it's kind of a weird. I wonder if those will end up exploding. Exploding decals. Shattering really is more of accurate terminology. But my favorite of all the decal things I've ever gotten is this. This is the S model of the Panzer II. And so it comes with 2 tanks in there, and it literally gives you decals for like 6 different vehicles. So that was really handy. So when I needed a bunch of Panzer IIs that didn't have decals for them, I picked up one of these and ended up getting a whole bunch of other decals for tanks that I had. Unfortunately, the set that I had, these yellow numbers, which I'm a big fan of yellow numbers on the Panzer Gray, ended up being orange, so I couldn't use those. But it gave you a nice array of those different decals. All right, but we're all over the place, all right? So in order to come back to earth here, and I should have 2 of these. I'm going to go ahead and pull the ones from the Panthers. Which there should be 2 of them. I've got one of them there. Yeah, here's that 111 decal. In that picture. Just when you think you have a whole lot of decals, you don't have that very many. I did have a bunch, but a lot of them just got exploded. They were old. I had them a long time, and then who knows how long they were around before that. It's the ones from the Panzer Jaeger 4, Panzer 4. Here's a 322s in black numbers. Well, if I don't have the other decal set, which I should, there was 2 different model kits of the Panther, then both options, I cut 322 off of something. There must be some vehicle that has that. I will just have to replace some of the iron crosses on there because it gives you both sets of tank 434 and 445 in there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this 141 decal and we're going to mix and match the numbers. So it's not 141. We'll do like 114 or something, or 411 or something like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with this guy. And we can use these iron crosses that are on here. So let's go get us some water and I'll be right back. All right, let's go ahead and since I'd forgotten to do this already, I need to get with my producers, put live chat on. There we go. All right. Where's the other Stuke? Let's see what we did there. Oh, we didn't do a cross at all on the back. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to coat this area here like it needs to be. Because that's probably where it's going to be. And we'll let that dry a little bit. Jeez. There we go. Now. I've been really happy using this as a clear coat and just select areas. I don't want to put one back here and then it's an issue with it sitting across the thing. So I'm going to put it up here. Up on the stupid structure. And likewise, on these Panzer IIIs, I think I need to bring them up one level before I do this. So let's go ahead and bring them up one level while I'm waiting for that to dry. But bring them up one level. We're talking about coming in here with a neck shade up, which is, it's this one right here. Dunkelgelb Mid-War. And this is the brush I was using yesterday. And I really like these paints for airbrushing. I'm not much of a fan of them for hand painting because they're really watery. So we're going to grab this guy first. Get almost all this color off. And this softens the look of the camouflage a lot. And these, by the way, are the ones from Plastic Soldier Company. And they might have some. Somebody was telling me that they're really big. They're out of scale, but it's just a model. It's only a model. They're very robust. You can't break these shirts in. They definitely are attached well. And of course, it's still going to have weathering on it, but this just kind of softens the look of the whole thing. I'm a fan of how it looks. Might not be your cup of tea. Well, don't brew it. If it's not your cup of tea, don't brew it. Don't steep it. Okay, now the turret. Very robust machine gun. You don't have to worry about that thing breaking off and handling. You know, they sell these, I think, as mostly as a like a wargamers model, like to play war games with. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're inaccurate. They're just more robust. So, okay, and there you can tell, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, there you can tell the difference between the two. They basically started being the same color, but adding another level on there kind of lightened it up a bit. Go ahead and we'll go ahead and do these as well. Keep wanting to grab that one. We're done with that one. We've done plenty with that one. Man, a few viewers, but no talkers. Well, I hope what happens last night doesn't happen tonight. I think at some point I actually fell asleep. Just dozing off while I was painting. Well, it's better than painting stressing you out. It should be a relaxing activity. But you can't be so relaxed that you don't get anything done because you fall asleep. Where's the other one? There she is. You know, I do the hollow black numbers, but they just don't stand. They don't stand out very much. You kind of have a distinct smell, these AK paints. It's not. It's certainly not unpleasant. I mean, I don't want to be, covered in it, but interesting solvent choice. And the turret. Come on, folks. I need you guys to participate, or I'm falling asleep. It's not even 9 o'clock. This is about the time that I fell asleep yesterday. I woke up at the wee hours of the morning, like 1 or 2 or something like that. I just had some kind of a dream about. I was going to some game convention or something, but it was like in Spain. And I missed the flight out of Spain. And I had to work the next day, and it was just a freaking mess. Wake up with problems. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to last long because let me go check on one thing. Right back. All right, let's take a look at a couple things. First of all, we're going to do a search here for Panzer III at Kursk, because that's really what I'm imagining for these three. See if we get some consistencies for the numbers that we're going to use on them. Okay, here's one that is hollow white. Oh no, do I have one of those? Do you have hollow white numbers? I do, you can barely see them. Okay. What's this one supposedly? 6th Panzer Division, okay. And then here is, this is Totenkopf. Well, we're not going to do, we don't care about SS units. Screw those guys. I actually really like the way the Panzer III looks. I think it's a good, solid looking tank. This is going to be a short stream. Well, it depends on if you guys interact with me. I'm almost ready to go to freaking bed. Save me, Hoffman, save me. Okay, so this one's got hollow numbers in white. Okay. And I think when they have shirts in, they just dispose completely with trying to even put a number underneath there. So this one seems to have it here on this the first one. Again, first one there. I think last night I actually fell asleep in the middle of the stream. I said it's still better than being stressed out. I don't intend any stream to be short when I sign up for it. When I start, I'm like, let me get everybody in here and then I'll sign off. Nope. That's not what the intent. That may actually be what happens, but that's not the intent. Now we have some that are completely in white. That's the 7 series one that I have. Yeah, okay. YouTube is being a pain in the nuts for you. Why? What's happening with YouTube? What's going on with YouTube? Is it acting glitchy or something like that? You're not one of those people that actually paid for the YouTube without commercials or whatever. That just seems silly. That just seems silly to... Anything that's available for free, I'll usually not pay anything for it. Well, we know for a fact where some of these things go. And the nice thing is if you put this somewhere and then end up not using it that one place, it doesn't really matter. It'll spray, and when you go and clear coat it, it'll disappear. So we're going to put this area up here. And then in the back here, where the two plates join. And then the other one up front here. Okay. And then I'm going to put one back here, or at least the option for it. Okay, and on this one, I'm going to put the same places for this. And then this guy, and that as well. YouTube hates people with ad blockers, okay? I will never pay $14 a month to YouTube for no ads when ad blockers are free. Well, I'll tell you what. I used to surf a lot on my computer, and even going to sites that you wouldn't think that would be high risk. I ended up getting a redirect virus, and you go and you sign, you get to go to one place and it takes you somewhere else. Just really annoying. And I actually got a Trojan virus one time on my first computer, on my Gateway that I bought in 1999, whatever the hell it was. And I didn't know what the hell a Trojan thing was. I'm not one of those folks that is in the know about those things. Boy, I'm making all the mistakes, aren't I? And nothing came of it, but the person wanted to teach me a lesson. I guess if we got to put a little cross there, we'll hand paint that one. I've done that before. The nerd burglar wanted to teach me a lesson or whatever. But I don't like putting things on my computer. I'm real particular about it because I had such a pain in the butt, taking and having to clear it off. And I don't Twitter on here the other day, and I think it got some other apps that got added at the same time. So, but I had to delete those other apps. I mean, they weren't anything toxic. They were just like, I don't remember what the hell they were, but it wasn't something that I put on myself intentionally. Yeah, I'm struggling to stay awake this week. I just went to Mitch's one day and it threw my entire week off. My wife was out yesterday. And I'm like, all right, I'll get some painting done. I get everybody in here, and I don't know how long I was on here, 15, 17 minutes, something like that. And I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like falling asleep. Falling all over myself with sleep. See if we got the... now they're gonna need a coat before that. We got enough with this stuff going on here. Okay, so we've got the water. We're going to take these Stug numbers and we're going to make this... well, you could just do 141. Now let's do 114 just to be different. So I don't try to put ad blockers on there. I'd be afraid that the ad blocker would bring some kind of a virus or something on there. Okay. Get the tweezers that are there. think that's the good pair in this container, but they're just a little too small for fingers here. All right, this is not the super readers. There we go. All right, so now they get the 114. Kind of between those two. Okay, and then do the same thing over here. Came in late. Sorry you missed me. Well, here you are to save the day. Here he comes to save the day. Where it's just lunchtime in Arizona, right? Hardly. No, I guess I don't have anything. No gum or nothing. about freaking time Nordic showed up. There you go. Still being a pain. Refuse to pay anything for YouTube. I'm not paying for it either. Okay, the ads on YouTube aren't bad compared to like the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel is like, nothing can load up. There's so many like dancing shit off the side of the, it's annoying. I never thought that like Facebook and YouTube have that many ads. So yesterday, before I fell asleep, because I did a really good job of that, I think I fell asleep with my paintbrush in my hand. I need to watch the video again, but then I probably would fall asleep. Before I had gone on yesterday, I noticed that I do a really poor job of watching other people's channels that I'm subscribed to. I just get out of the habit of it. But, Little Wars is one of the ones I subscribed to. And I heard that they were taking a break from making videos. Maybe they had somebody that was doing for them, got fed up because they got some complicated videos that they do. Well, that's annoying that these iron crosses are off of, out of register a little bit. No, we'll just try to make the best out of it. What are we doing, 114? Yeah, 114. Do we want to put the iron cross before the number or after? Let's take a look and see. Let's look at some Stoogie pictures. Stoogie. And we're particularly interested in ones that have no shirts on them. So we can see if there's some kind of a pattern. These have that iron cross right in the middle. Okay, so if the iron cross is in the middle, do I want the number in front of it or behind it? I want it in front of it. That's what we're going to do. And yes, you hear people in the background. My daughter's here for a visit. She came up for the weekend. Missed me by a couple of minutes. Was I supposed to be on earlier? Yeah, man. At 7:30, just sign on. Just be a holding pattern. Little Wars is remodeling their gaming area. Is that what it is? They come off as super fake. Yeah, Nordic's not a big fan of them. I think you wanted to be in their group, and they're like, no, we don't like you. You're from northern Pennsylvania. We don't like your kind. They seem very cliquish. Lots of wargamers are. YouTubers are also obsessed with copying other successful videos. And lately, the "We Are Quitting YouTube" videos are very popular. Huh. Sadly, a couple of channels you actually like quit YouTube. Which one? If you do it because you like doing it, it's one thing. But you know what? I can't stand subscription shit. I can't stand Patreon crap. That's what I can't stand. And I'm not saying that I have a problem with people paying for their stuff. But then you feel like you owe them something. Like, I don't want to do it. I fortunately don't need money. Well, that amount of money is not going to solve anything. So then basically I do this because this is my therapy. This keeps me from being an alcoholic. This keeps me from drinking, really. Although I have been known to have a drink on here. But I don't really want other people telling me what I should do, what I can't do. You either like what I'm doing, or you just go do something else. Go watch somebody that does like what they're doing. I already got enough things I have to do that I don't like. So, and today, yeah, I pretty much that was the soup du jour today. I'm every week I'm like craving the weekend more than the previous one. But the Patreon's just really confusing. What's free? What are you getting for? It's like, well, if you play one of those free games on the internet, but it's some of those that are pay to win. You have to remember, okay, what can I do on here that doesn't cost any money, and what does? It just starts getting kind of confusing. Once you realize you're not going to make a living at doing your hobby, then just do what you want. If people like it, that's cool. And if they don't, well, that's cool too. Oh, this is an interesting situation I had happen. I'll tell you about it in a second. So I was using this container to put my wash in, the Army Painter one, and it wouldn't come off. Well, now I set this in water, and look, the whole thing is one piece. Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, cool. I'll pull that off later. Yeah, I'm not going to talk bad about them. I don't know the guys. I know the guys really do a good job with the show. I know one of those guys does well. You know what? Look, I did a Historicon video one time, and one of the guys I talked to at from Little Wars was actually pretty cool. He was a lot better in person than I would have thought from his videos. But there's one guy in the video I wouldn't want to play with. He just seems like a prick. I could be wrong. I may come off that way too. Well, oh well, doesn't bother me that everybody don't love me. Luke's APS, I think his channel was called. I can't understand. I couldn't understand half of what he was saying. He quit a few months back. Mel was a channel to watch, got put off that he was begging for people to give him money. It didn't set well with him. Just don't give him money. Mel had a fuck ton of energy. I think he's back. I really like his demeanor. He's super positive. Quirky, but I liked him. Luke, I don't know. Couldn't understand what the hell he was saying most of the time. I'm not from the UK, so I'm not used to some of those regional accents. But he was very prolific. Um, there's a couple. There's one person in particular that I am subscribed to their channel. They have a lot of subscribers, and I wish he'd just turn his volume up. You know, I've told him, listen, you need to turn your volume. I can hardly understand what you're saying, even with headphones. I couldn't understand what it is. That's okay, Tony. We talk bad mouth about them in your place. Well, I'm used to their accents. I watch some of their television from time to time. Yeah. A lot of it is, if you speak fast, because if you speak slow, then it's all right. But I had trouble listening to Luke. I know it was this buddy of mine was telling me about his channel. I watched a couple episodes. I'm like, I'm I'm spending way too much effort trying to figure out what this guy says. So what I did with these crosses that are out of register is I came in here afterwards and actually painted a little bit of the white around it. It actually worked out okay. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I've got these decals. I might as well use them. You know, and this isn't the best model anyways. So, you know, this I think this one came with the set that I ended up getting the Dara So from. Something, I don't know. Maybe I got it for this. I don't remember. Von Ketteringham. I can't understand him. He needs to turn his volume up. He seems like a hell of a nice guy. Has a shitload of viewers. Can't understand him. You know, he's a little bit of, he mumbles a little bit, but he doesn't have a super strong accent. But I just need his. It's just not loud enough for me. You know, and yes, I'm hard of hearing. Huh? Yep, I got the papers to prove it too. But he's in all kinds of stuff. Well, good for him. I'm glad he can do that. I can't. I can't. If I'm going to do World War II, let's frickin' do World War II, right? But there's lots of incidents that happened in the last, I'd say, 3 months that I probably, had I not already quit DBA, would have just pushed me over the edge. Because just work is just intolerably, it's just full of problems, just constant. And like every day is worse. And it's like, to have something that I have to have some kind of responsibility for, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Well, everyone, you heard it from the horse's mouth. He wants it loud and dirty, so let's give it to him. That's right. I don't know why it's Von Ketteringham. Fraser, whatever his name is. And then there's one guy that I guess was probably the biggest catalyst for me to do my own DBA, my own YouTube channel. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this scum. It's all connected. This is all Army Painter. This one guy, I saw this video. I came across him because I was doing naval games, or I looked it up, or at Sea Krieg or something like that. And this guy had some Sea Krieg games on him, under his belt, and I saw it, and I'm like, hell, I could do this. I mean, this guy's using like a video recorder, and it's not even hard. And sometimes it's just him talking. It doesn't even have this much activity. And I don't know if it's everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoyed listening to him back before I had a YouTube channel. And I just found the meter of his voice, he's from England, and really relaxing. And I understand every single word he says, because he speaks slow, and he speaks clear, and he speaks the Queen's English. But I haven't watched much other YouTube stuff in, I'd say probably a year for sure. Mainly because I'm hanging out with you guys. I'm making my own content. It keeps me more engaged, you know? And that's really the purpose for me, of doing this, is to stay engaged. Otherwise, you know, after 15 minutes, I'll think about something and go, oh, let me go check that out. And I don't finish whatever it is that I'm working on. Well, if you want me to talk sweet nothings to you in a soothing voice, you'll need to pay for that, man. Is it ASMR or AMSR? They got a couple of. I don't even know how I found them on my feed, but I got this one girl that's always sending me suggestions, and she is super cute. I mean, she doesn't do anything inappropriate, but she does that whispering shit, which I can't hear or whatever. But she's really attractive. I think she's from the Ukraine or something like that. I guess there's people that like that. I don't. I'd rather my women be quiet. Oh, man. Okay, so that's going to need to dry before we can touch up the white linings of it. ASMR? What's it stand for? No clue. Oh no, did this thing fall off? Well, diddly dick. We're gonna have to glue that back on. No, that's a job for epoxy. Yeah, I'm not a fan of white metal things. It's just a lot easier to. It's just a lot easier to just deal with plastic. You cleaned up your hobby desk. I feel it's time to get back to the Scharnhorst. Doesn't she have an accent that I can't understand, anyways? I think so. I think she has a heavy accent. She Irish? Is it Ciara? That's the phrase of the week. Diddly dick. I got, you know. I didn't do diddly dick. Better than having diddly dick done to you. Oh, this thing. Oh, what an abortion this was. So this old Hetzer kid had super flimsy wheels, right? And the plastic was so archaic that it almost wanted to melt. It actually has good detail. However, the front of this has these, I don't know if you can see it here. It has these little parts that it's angled on the front of the hull is angled like this. Okay, I'm exaggerating, okay? And on this side, to make it even, there's like these wedge shapes, and on this wedge is the actual prong that the sprocket wheel goes off of. Let's see if I can show that to you so you can see what I'm talking about. And it took forever to get it lined up, and I don't know that I did that good of a job anyways, but that's how it's going. So this might have suffered some damage or something like that, but I fiddled with this for a long time, and I had to be really careful because it was melting the freaking plastic. This, whatever material this was made out of, so shit happens. I do believe she's Irish, and her name is pronounced Kira, but it's spelled Ciara. Yeah, I know. I don't do those the Gaelic pronunciations. I don't understand the root of some of that stuff. Okay, I think I am actually going to do the numbers on the Panzer III in red. I think I am. So, at least on these two. Just to do something different. It'll add another level of color on there. Let's make sure we got a fresh one here. Yeah, I don't know about gamer chicks though. They can be a little too weird. I like girls that are smart. I don't mind if they're nerdy. But gamer girls, that's a little too weird. Okay. Let me see. Let me make sure I don't have a massive error here. So let's look at the other Panzer IIIs. One of them's 724, right? That's the flamethrower one. That doesn't count. 724. Okay, what about this other one that's got the 615? Okay, that's a really high number. I don't want higher numbers than that. So I want one of these to end in a 2. And I want the other one to end in a 1. And I don't want to use repeat numbers because then it cuts down on what I can do. Limits me. I don't want to do fourth company. Let's do 6 as the first number. Let's do 631 and 632. And we'll do 631 when we're on the open hatch. So we could probably get all those. And we're going to try to put one on the rear too. So here's the 3 and the 2. These are all individual numbers. I don't believe this is one sheet. Correct. Okay, and here's the 6. 2 and the 3. And the 6. 2 and the 3. And a 6. Okay, so we're going to cut those out. And then over here, we're going to do the 6, the 3, and the 1. The 1, the 3, and the 6. And the 1, the 3, and the 6. All right. I don't date gamer girls. They play my video games. I don't like that. Or what if they play the wrong video games? Like, jumping games. I don't date girls that are obsessed with Pokemon. Is that a thing? All the ones I've dated and known have been a little crazy. Okay. So, which ones do I have on? The super readers? Okay, cool. All right, let's get the 6. This 6 here. That 6 there. Pokemon. You know the worst thing about Pokemon is the jackass that named all those things, because they must have failed advertising big time. Because, hey, it's a Pokemon that looks like a cat. We'll call it Cataboo. Like, can you, try to, be more original? Not use the name of what it looks like exactly in there? It's like, did a 3-year-old name this? No, a 3-year-old doesn't know words, and it's probably better than the stuff that you guys named it. You just picture some Japanese kid naming these. Yeah. Go eat another, whatever it is that you're going to eat. There we go. Have you ever made your own transfers? Yeah, how's that work? I don't have a reliable printer. I know one thing. I wouldn't do I wouldn't do transfers for Russian slogans. I could paint those jokers. This is a lot easier to do when I don't have my contacts in. But these transfers are really good. Microscale, really happy with them. I'm scared of using the Archer ones because they're like the dry rub or whatever. And I think you can move them if you put them in the wrong place to some degree. But they just scare the crap out of me. And might be just one of those things. I've never messed with them before, so I'm scared of the unknown. I'm getting a quad 50 cal mount and I will name it FU. Better to paint number markings and symbols, etc. on tanks, or is it better to use decal? I want to make some transfers for Japanese build signs for Target. A new Godzilla team. King Kong sucks. I've never been a King Kong fan. I'm still trying to find that Godzilla movie to watch it for free. Big ass monkey. Okay. So 632. Right, and that's this one. Not the command one. All right, this is probably a good time to use this. So we don't accidentally move a decal and have to fix it again. I don't watch American Godzilla stuff. Godzilla! All right, let's put that 6 in where it goes. Let's get a tiny little piece of this. And if this looks like crap, it's not what I wanted, we'll just put a different set of numbers. Not like we don't have enough of them. But there's a set that I saw. I tend to like ones that have outlines better. But just to mix it up a little bit. All right, 3's next. Comes with a free 2. So we'll take them both with us. Come on. Crap. No. And the 2, they fell off before I got to them. It's okay. These tweezers are stellar. It's a lot easier than anything, just about anything I had to do today at work. Piece of cake. Oh, is that all? No problem. Hoffman, the only Marvel things I'd watch are Guardians of the Galaxy and maybe Thor and Doctor Strange. I feel like and all the stuff, not a chance. I can't stand Guardians of the Galaxy. There it is. I said it. A fucking feather you throw. Come on. You do like Batman. What's the best Batman movie? I think I've seen them all. I may not have seen the one with Clooney. I know it sucks. I don't think I've seen it. Oh, and I haven't seen the new one with that British kid or whoever the hell he is. The Batman. Oh, okay. Kind of a little late to do that. It's kind of like these. It's kind of like these bands that come up with an album name. That the name of the album is the name of the band, but it's not their first album. Like, come on, man. A little late for that. Debut album can be named after you. After that, nope. You got to come up with a name. You tell me you can write music, but you can't come up with the name of an album. Let's see how this looks. Let's make sure it's centered on the right place here. Come on. There we go. Dark Knight, is that the first one? Last Guardians of the Galaxy movie almost made me cry. Really? The freaking raccoon that can talk? I don't know. I know people are big fans of that, but I thought the first Doctor Strange was a lot better than I thought. I thought it was going to be crap, and it's not. I'm not the demographic for it. I'm not the demographic for comic book movies. Only reason I watched him is my daughter wanted to see him, and she's not a comic book nerd, but for some reason she wanted to see him. Oh, there's a gap in this freaking thing. Well, we'll just have to deal. We'll just have to mind the gap. Tried gluing it together back when I did it. Let's see how this looks. If not, I already have a backup plan. I think it could just straddle it just fine. It'd be all right. I don't think I'm the demographic for movies in general anymore. Ain't that? I know the feeling, man. Oh, somebody that can think for themselves. Oh, movies aren't for you. What? I I actually saw the trailer. This is why I hate comic book movies. I saw the trailer for the new Deadpool that's coming out, and I'm a fan of the other two Deadpool movies. And after watching that trailer, I don't want to watch the movie. It's like a shit show of multiple universes and time travel, and I'm like, man, you're making my head hurt. I can't stand all that multiple universe nonsense crap. And Mitch and I, we watched, a whole bunch of us went in the movie, saw the first one. It was fucking hilarious. That was a case of you went to go see the movie with the right people. It makes it even funnier. Actually, the second one, when he gets that whole group of misfit uh, superheroes that they're all messed up, and they jump out of the plane and everything goes sideways. That was pretty funny. That was really funny. You don't like Ryan Reynolds? Wow, you're the only person. No wonder you don't like Pumas. Really? Okay. Did he take away your blonde or something? You don't like him either. Well, there's two of you. Fair enough. I did see you set up the battle for Alexander, but I couldn't comment. I was too busy at work. I was too busy putting out fires. Anyone who takes my blondes and Asians. All your Asians. I don't have any Asians they can take from me, so. But that multiple universe, time travel, I thought they were dead, guess again, you get another chance of it. It's just, man, it makes my head hurt. Yes, I stole that from Dr. Evil, and I'm not ashamed about doing so. You ever play that video game? What was it called? Where you build a base. It's kind of unique. I mean, it's a very cute game. Without being cute, it's done in a very James Bond type of way. Evil Genius. Evil Genius. And that's a cool little video. That's a cool little video game. It's basically, you build you play the bad guys, and you got to build this base, and you keep getting assaulted, and you got to build rooms, and it's entertaining for a while, and then you're like, okay, I've done all this before. I already have a frustrating job. I don't need this kind of crap on my free time. I'll ask again since you missed it earlier. I did. Do you plan any tank recovery vehicles? I think so. I think so. I think they definitely have a place in the game. There's actually one of the scenarios that I got from somebody that features God. What is the name of that rule set that I want to say it's called Battleground? But it actually has a scenario where you have to get a tank out of the mud. And then somebody's coming and assaulting it exactly at the wrong time. A mired vehicle. But I don't have any models of any of them. The most useless fighting vehicle I have, save trucks, but I think trucks are an important purpose, is the artillery observation Panzer III that I have. I just don't think that's a very useful vehicle, but I ended up picking up from Brookhurst Hobbies when they had it for sale or something like that. You could do a scenario where a tank is knocked out and needs to recover, and the recovery vehicle needs to be protected from enemy troops. Exactly, and the recovery vehicle is a liability, and the vehicle that needs to be recovered is like not running. You know, there's no crew in there. I meant useless from a combat standpoint. 632. I don't know if I like it all red. Well, we'll finish it. If I don't like how it finishes, I'll just renumber it. Zippity doo dah. What else am I going to do with numbers I don't like except try to use them? And if that doesn't work for me, well then ditch them. Okay? This one's 631. I got to go to the pee pee room. I'll be right back. What's my favorite vehicle based solely on the aesthetics of the vehicle? That is an excellent question. I will be right back. That's an excellent question. I'm going to have to look at some pictures. But I can tell you right now, I don't like the look of a Berger Panther. It just looks weird without, I mean, it's just like the front angle of the hull, but then there's like nothing above it. It just looks weird. Um, I want to say the American one is pretty attractive. I mean, they're all relatively ugly. Let's see. World War II tank recovery vehicle. Vehicles. Yeah, the American one at least has like a boom on it. Are you going to call something like that, like a SDKFZ9, a recovery vehicle? Big FAMO half track? I think those are really attractive looking. I don't have any of those. This is a good looking vehicle. That with a crane on it. I like those. I like the way those big half tracks look. I mean, it's fairly attractive. Like the big German recovery tractor. So far, it looks like it's winning. I like those big tractors, anyways. I don't actually have a single one of them, and I like that it has a boom because it looks like a recovery vehicle instead of ones that don't. The American one doesn't look bad. I don't think the Russians have one. Push it out of the way. I bet they do. It's just they didn't have very many of them. Yeah, even the American, it's kind of interesting looking. You like the M31? Okay, that's the 32. The 31 is based on the Lee, I think. Yeah, it's kind of cool looking. Yeah, I don't like this Berger Panther. It just looks stupid. It just looks dumb, like it's missing something. You know? At least that 31 or the 32, they have like a turret. I mean, they look. It looks complete. Not like it's yeah. Here's the 31. Yeah, it's kind of cool. You know? And if you piss them off too much, that 50 is going to come knock you on the head. Um, yeah. Oh, it looks really good in this game. That's good looking right there. There you go. Here's from another angle. I think one of the things that makes U.S. vehicles of that time period a bit unattractive is the running gear. This running gear that was on the Lees, the M10s, and the Shermans is not very attractive. It just isn't. I much prefer Christie suspension, how it looks. But I think this stuff was very practical because you could take that whole unit and just toss it and put another whole unit on. Um, but aesthetically, not really pleasing. I'm also not a fan of the interwoven road wheels like the Panther has. I like this. I like running gear like this. I like the Panzer III running gear, or bigger wheels. Yeah. Do the Soviets have one? I don't know if the Soviets have one. They might have had it. World War II tank recovery vehicle, Soviet. Well, here's under engines of the Red Army. Looks like they have a Lend-Lease one. It was a German one based on the Mark IV hull called the Hirschreck. I butchered the spelling, I'm sure. Slevenkelevra. Was it? What is it with German vehicles from World War II that look so more futuristic from any other piece of the Allied side? Well, it depends on the item. Um, they certainly have their futuristic things, that's for sure. Okay, so we need to put 631 on. We're just gonna roll with this. So I'm gonna go with a Famo 9 half track with a crane on it. I think it looks pretty attractive. I like the front of those half tracks. They're pretty good looking. Actually, I think almost All the half tracks by every nation are good looking. I like the American ones. I like the German ones, the in the 251 and the 250 flavor, and the larger ones that are unarmored as well. The French one looks good, whatever the hell it's called. I think all the half tracks look good. Soviets had a T-34 recovery tank. Just one in the whole freaking Russian army. You should not have broken down, comrade. How do you say tough titty? Do I like the British Universal Carriers? Yeah. Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, they're okay. Are British vehicles the same way as British planes? That they're either sexy or ugly as hell? Ugly ducklings? I don't know. I like the British vehicles in the desert better. I don't really like that Northwest Europe paint scheme that looks kind of boring, especially if if they try to put those white stars on them. Okay, we're going to put that in there. There's the one. Come on. Are you going to be difficult? All right. Had enough difficult problems today. You like the camouflage the BF used in 1940. I agree. And I like the Mickey Mouse too. Just one T-34 recovery tank, the entire Soviet army in World War II, they called it. Sir, not appearing in this war, comrade. Yeah, I get the reference on that. Silly model. It's only a model. Can you imagine if they made a recovery vehicle based on like the French? They had a Char B. Man, they'd call for repairs and he'd get there and war would be over. As slow as that thing would be. Okay, that's it. You're getting a Monty Python, the Holy Grail, off the damn DVD bookcase and watching it. What's your favorite scene out of the whole thing? Mine, I like the Black Knight. I like the Black Knight scene. And if I have to pick one, that's the one. Funny story about that movie. I heard it many times before I ever saw it. Like, what are you talking about? I said, well, I used to work at the store, and this guy that I knew had recorded it. Back how we used to record things in the late 80s, early 90s. You put a tape recorder up to the fucking TV, right, and recorded it. So he had the whole movie recorded, and he would play it, instead of music or whatever all the time. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't know anything. I mean, obviously I knew what Monty Python was. I was a fan of Monty Python. I just hadn't seen that movie. And it's definitely a movie that I have it on DVD as well. That's definitely benefits from having subtitles because of the sound quality. Not necessarily that they speak a type of English that I don't understand. It's just really really basic. Did I put the one in? How many ones are in here? Two. Nope. Nope, there's a third one. Got it. And so I heard it. I knew like all the freaking words before I ever saw what the situation was. That's kind of an interesting wrinkle there. The people responsible for subtitles this YouTube video want you to know that they have been sacked. Exactly. Exactly. I wonder how many, when they showed that in the movie theater, I wonder how long. And you know what? Just for that, I'm going to have a little song stuck in your head. Over and over and over again. The Bridge of Death is good too. The scene with Tim the Enchanter making a hand gesture about the rabbit. His teeth. I was playing Diablo 4 the other day and I came across an enchanter whose name was Tim. That's what he went for. True story. I hate people that play video games and they use names for characters that aren't appropriate to the game that they're playing. It's just stupid. Just stop being a dumbass. It's Dumas. No, you're a dumbass. Yep. Over and over and over. I wonder how long people sat in the movie theater before I realized that was like a dummy ending. That's kind of lame that they did that, but what's that movie? 1971, something like that? 73, 74, something like that. It's 74 or earlier, for sure. Okay, so this is the first tank in the 3rd platoon of the 6th Company. Right. So I've been reading the book on the Desert War, or having on Audible, and I just got to the point where the action started, and I need to stop and take notes because there's enough detail on some of these actions that are interesting. The Lafley VT-15 sure looks funny. Is that the French one? Or is it the Fly? 1975? Okay. It's almost like it's got wheels in the wrong place. Like it's got the small wheel in front of the big, I don't know, something like that. Let's see. The Fly V15 T. CC or no CC? We'll leave the CC off. Yeah, it's got that mini wheel. It looks like something that they put together. Like they had this small Jeep with like the balloon tires, and then they're like, well, let's just put bigger tires on it. What about these little ones? Oh, just leave it on there. Yeah, this looks like some kind of something of perspective. It does look peculiar. Commander Recovery Jeep. Huh. Commander had too much to drink at the bar. Let's go send the recovery Jeep. Yeah! Startled me. Okay. It's a lot quicker if you use all three numbers when they're connected. better keep it down out there. You got this Nordic guy. It's listening in on everything. Big Brother Nordic. Well, I'll tell you what. You're always saying that my microphone's good. It's really good at not picking up Mitch's air conditioning because it was loud in there, and I listened to the recording, and I'm like, you can barely hear it. So it's definitely not a Walmart microphone. When I recorded with my phone, that damn phone would pick up everything. This thing's like smart, like it knows, like that's not a human's voice, so we'll just muffle that. Or that's a machine sound. Okay. I don't know that I'm gonna love those red numbers, but it's too late. We're already on this boat, so we'll change it later if we need to. Just wanted to mix it up a little bit. And there's examples of cursed vehicles using red, so there you go. But as far as I can tell, each battalion had a different scheme. So, red might be one battalion in the Panzer Division, and the other one might be, white with red outlines, or red with white outlines. Just slightly different. Oh, I don't think I put any of this down. Give me a 3. 3. Well, I hope tomorrow goes by really quick. Because I could really use a weekend right about now. Too late, we were already on this boat, is how I'm feeling about this milliput project you're doing. What are you doing with the milliput? What was the most common number color for Panzer Gray tanks? What time period? Early Barbarossa, I'd say white. Solid white. Then solid yellow. The solid colors were definitely more common than the outline ones, but I haven't done intensive research, but it seems to me that you would have one battalion that might have solid white and one of them would have outline white. If I was retired, I'd do that shit. I'd try to crack the code on some of that stuff. Hoffman, how can I swim? Or perhaps I just jump off the boat. Now that you said that, Tony, it's going to go like a snail. Exactly. Today was the fastest it's ever been from the time I get there to lunchtime. It was like, before I knew it was like 11 o'clock. I'm like, what the hell? That was crazy. I'd say it was probably, it depends on the unit. Like if Czech 38s, lots of them seemed to be red with white outlines. And it depends on the division. The 11th, the Ghost, the guys have the Ghost. Well, technically the Ghost division is the 7th, which is Rommel's old unit. But the ones that had the Ghost guy, the 11th Panzer, those guys had 2-digit codes. So they didn't have all three numbers, at least in 41. And I actually don't like two-digit codes. You're going to do three or you're going to do none of them. Which Sturmgeschütz was the one used during Barbarossa? Well, as they made more of the Sturmgeschütz, more of them got made. So, didn't make very many A's and B's and C's and D's. They made more E's than any of those. They didn't have any F's when they invaded. They were all E's and earlier. They were all equipped with the same 75 millimeter that the Panzer IVs are in, the L-24. And the E's was the most modern one that they had, but they didn't have that many of them. And they weren't in any Panzer divisions. They were either in independent groups. They might have had, like one company that was attached to like whatever the hell Grossdeutschland was at that time, a regiment or something like that. I don't think it was a motorized division until 42. I could be wrong, but they were pretty much in a little independent, little brigades. And the most modern one they had was E's, were the E's. Why did they only use two-digit codes? Lazy. I don't know. But if you look at yeah, that's my stomach's going crazy. It's not liking all this black coffee. If you look at Panzer colors, for instance, and this would be Panzer colors, not the red one, the yellow one. The yellow one is the one that's all the units. And we go here to the 11th Panzer. I'm not a fan of that double that the 5th Panzer Division used. I don't know, it's just something, I just don't like it. Oh, got a crooked spider there, I gotta be careful. Yeah, all the Panzer Divisions, all the 11th, use two-digit codes, at least in 41, on white. So it just seems kind of boring. When I built 135th and did Grossdeutschland units, did you seek out aftermarket decals? No. But I did, when I built my Panther D for Kursk, I did buy the conversion kit for the Tamiya kit too. It had like different road wheels and a different turret and all that kind of stuff. It's actually the only pictures they have on it. Well, they have a Panzer III that ends in 33. A Panzer IV that ends in 33. This is also a Panzer IV-E, I guess, and it has 11. This is like a command vehicle that has a 1K on it. The company commander. Yeah. Gespenster. Ghost. A white stenciled figure of a ghost brandishing a sword, a speeding auto close behind. Yeah. Yeah, stomach's not. If I feel okay, but it's just making loud noises. Hope I don't shit my pants on camera. No, this literally the stomach. I just stopped drinking black coffee for a while. It was just acid was eating me up. But I went back to it. I had 2 cups of it. It was either that or I was going to fall asleep and not do a damn thing. But I happen to like, for early Barbarossa, I like the yellow numbers. 3-digit yellow number codes. They just look better. It's just like a nice little contrast. Something a little different. Just like I like the yellow stars on American vehicles. Not that I've built any of them, but I, I probably will at some point. If you do, I'll never let you live it down. Oh, shit your pants? I'm sure somebody's done it on YouTube. They might have even done it on purpose. Deviants out there. I dated a girl one time that was doing something for, she had to go visit a prison for using some kind of sociology thing or some bullshit thing anyways, and she had to go visit a prison, and she was telling me about this one guy who would crap his pants for attention. Like, not all attention's good, man. What army unit do you like the most from Barbarossa that was a division? Well, I don't know about that I like, but that I follow their exploits. I don't care about the first or the second or the third. The second's okay in Normandy because you use that trident. But it's kind of hard to get excited about some of these units when their symbol is just kind of like arbitrary. The seventh's Rommel's old units. That one's kind of cool. The eighth was in this video game I used to play called I was gonna say Close Combat, but that's not it. It's Velikialuki. It was the armored unit that was in there. It was very under strength by that time in late '42 because it was up in the northern part over near Moscow. So everything had been stripped to add add panzer units to the south. Some of the units in the south even had 3 battalions in them. Some panzer divisions they'd leave 1 battalion in the ones in the north, and some of them got 3 in the south. But for the most part, battalions pretty much had two battalions in a regiment, not 3. But there were exceptions. I like the 11th. For the desert, I don't like the 21st. I don't. It's a stupid D symbol. I like the 15th more than the 21st. At least the 15th has a little like triangle thing or something. I don't know. Doing the most from Barbarossa, that was the division. Yes, that's all the earliest. I think that in Barbarossa, the 22nd didn't start Barbarossa. The 21st was cobbled together of different groups. So what's before 20th? I think there was a 20th. 20th was the highest numbered one that actually took part in 41 Barbarossa, if I remember correctly. Some point this summer, I'm going to try to get the Barbarossa Army Group Center 41 on the table. Huge game. You could have Guderian running around like a prima donna. I don't have a real high opinion of him. When I read, he was just basically like, I wouldn't want to be his superior officer. He must have been a pain in the ass to deal with. Give him an engine, he takes 2 feet. But that is the fascist system. I know a guy, the buddy favoritism. It's funny, I was going to make a comment on your post. You made a post about when you started doing the Alexander one. You said something along the lines of, now you go, forward in time 2,300 years, whatever it was, right? And you said from the winter of 43. And that's what caught my attention because I would never call, when somebody says the winter of, and this is just maybe the way I look at it. Maybe I'm the exception. I know I do this about other things like, next Thursday. When is next Thursday? Next Thursday to me is the next Thursday that comes on. So if I'm talking about Monday, if I say, what day is it today? Thursday. If I say next Monday, to me it's the Monday that comes up, not a week from this Monday. So when you said winter of 43, oh, that's 43, 44 to me. I would call the winter of 42, 43, but since winter starts in December and that year is 42, I would call it the winter of 42. But doesn't really freaking matter. Jessica Awful. Hi, where can I buy one? Looks so good. A what? One of these? What's for sale? Are you an actual lady on my channel? Good. You'd be the first one. Like I said, they did get in these big pissing matches on the miniatures page. We got to get more women in the hobby. I said, this is really a hobby that women aren't interested in. I'm all for it. I wish my wife was into it, but that's just not the case. And I don't get upset when I go into Joann's Fabrics, and I'm the only straight male that goes in there. It's all usually old ladies. That's just the demographics. Well, I don't know if I'm going to stick with this numbering system, but you can't really tell until you finish doing the weathering. You can't really tell. It started in January 43. Yes, but the winter's in 42. That's my favorite winter on the Eastern Front, by the way. You know that. Everything's for sale. That's the problem with this country. Not everything should be for sale. You think that's a bot? Well, you hear that, Nordic? Don't go out for a date on a bot. So it's kind of too early to tell if I'm going to like it or not, but it's worth a shot. It's something a little different, and there's photographic evidence. I think the airbrushing turned out. I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to airbrushing next time. And I'm not going to be airbrushing these, these in a tradition to make up for the hand painting. I'm still a hand painter. I'm still a hand painter at heart. And we're gonna do this little guy in a different color, I think. But it's almost 10:30, so we need to. Winter starts December 21st, though. Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for coming by, folks. We'll see you guys on the next one. And actually, I need to straighten this up a little bit. I think these are a problem if you let them dry, and then they want to be like obstinate when you go to move them again. But I got so many of these numbers that I'm not worried about. There's just something about this Panzer III model from Plastic Soldier Company that just seems like they're off. It seems like the angle of the roof is a little too tilted. They're a little too like this. They should be a little flatter, but these things are almost indestructible. That one looks really good. Yeah, I think they'll do fine. I think they'll be fine. Once we weather them, add some details on there. I really like the way Panzer IIIs look. They're just kind of like what German tanks should look like. If you paint monocolor vehicles, airbrushing will go faster. Well, monocolor vehicles, I don't need airbrush. When you get around at tanks at 15, you're going to go to PSC kits. Yeah, the Sherman model. Okay, the Sherman model that I have for the M4A1. Let's see where that guy is. Yeah, these guys. I believe the 15 millimeter version of it comes with the standard turrets with a 75 millimeter gun and these. So you get tons of extra stuff. Man, it looks good. Sometimes you forget what things look like. Man, that looks pretty sharp. I could spend even more time on them, but they need to look a little game piece like. I don't want them to look uber realistic, so that's why I don't do the oil stains and shit like that. You know, a detail too far. Okay, folks, and I think the A10s are the A9. I believe they're 15 millimeter A9 comes. You can make A10s out of them as well. So I wish that the 20 millimeters had some of those options. So we go 15 millimeter PSC A9. I believe comes with options to make an A10. Oh yeah, look at this. You know, you get 5 different variants you can make. So you could make an A9 for the desert, an A10 for the desert, an A10 close support, and an A10 Mark II-A. That's amazing. I mean, I can't say enough good things about them. And their barrels are a little oversized. Not huge. The same way as GHQ is more oversized than CNC with the barrels of their micro armor. But it also makes it more durable. You don't have to worry about these things falling apart on you. You know, yeah. I mean, pretty cool. So, what do you plan on doing 15 millimeter? Oh, you're doing poles, and yeah, they don't have very many of those. I need to see which tanks 30 Brigade had when they defended Calais in 1940. Oh, that'll be fun to look up. I enjoy stuff like that. Okay, folks, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you soon.